The concept of economic efficiency. Economic efficiency refers to a state where all goods and factors of production in an economy are distributed or allocated to their most valuable uses, and waste is eliminated or minimized. In essence, it's about getting the most out of scarce resources. An economy is considered economically efficient if it's impossible to make someone better off without making someone else worse off, or if it's impossible to produce more of one good without producing less of another. There are several key types of economic efficiency. 1. Productive efficiency or production efficiency. This occurs when goods and services are produced at the lowest possible average cost, given the available technology and resources. It means that an economy is operating on its production possibilities frontier, PPF, where it's impossible to produce more of one good without decreasing the production of another. Firms are using their inputs, labor, capital, land, in the most effective way to maximize output. 2. Allocative efficiency. This occurs when resources are allocated to produce the combination of goods and services that society most desires. It means that the marginal benefit to society from consuming a good equals the marginal cost of producing it. Text P equals text MC. In other words, firms are producing what consumers want at quantities that maximize overall social welfare. An economy could be productively efficient, producing at the lowest cost, but still not allocatively efficient if it's producing goods that people don't want. 3. Pareto efficiency or Pareto optimality. This is a broader concept that encompasses both productive and allocative efficiency. A situation is Pareto efficient if it's impossible to reallocate resources in a way that makes at least one person better off without making anyone else worse off. This is often considered the ideal state of efficiency, though it doesn't imply fairness or equity in distribution. How economic efficiency relates to the allocation of resources in a market economy. In a market economy, the price mechanism plays a crucial role in promoting economic efficiency, particularly allocative and productive efficiency. Here's how it works. Price signals and resource allocation. Consumer preferences. Allocative efficiency. In a market economy, consumers express their preferences through their willingness to pay. High prices for a good signal strong consumer demand, encouraging producers to allocate more resources to that good's production. Conversely, low prices or unsold goods signal weak demand, prompting resources to be shifted away. This continuous feedback loop helps ensure that resources are allocated to produce the goods and services that consumers value most, moving towards allocative efficiency. Text P equals text MC. Producer incentives, productive efficiency. Firms in a competitive market are driven by the profit motive. To maximize profits, they have an incentive to produce goods at the lowest possible cost. This pushes them to adopt the most efficient production techniques, minimize waste, and utilize inputs effectively. Competition among firms further intensifies this drive for productive efficiency, as less efficient firms will be driven out of the market. Competition. Competition among firms forces them to be efficient. If a firm is not producing at the lowest possible cost, not productively efficient, competitors can undercut its prices and capture market share. This pressure ensures that resources are not wasted and that production methods are optimized. Innovation and technology. The pursuit of efficiency encourages innovation. Firms constantly seek new technologies and processes to reduce costs, improving productive efficiency, or to create new products that better meet consumer demands, improving allocative efficiency. Decentralized decision-making. Unlike centrally planned economies, market economies allow for decentralized decision-making. Millions of consumers and producers, acting in their own self-interest, collectively determine resource allocation through their interactions in the market. This often leads to more flexible and responsive resource allocation than a rigid, top-down approach. Challenges to economic efficiency in market economies. While market economies have a strong tendency towards efficiency, they are not always perfectly efficient. Factors that can lead to inefficiencies include market failures, externalities. When production or consumption of a good affects a third party not involved in the transaction, e.g., pollution. Public goods. Goods that are non-rivalrous and non-excludable, e.g., national defense, which markets typically underprovide. Asymmetric information. When one party in a transaction has more or better information than the other. Monopolies, oligopolies. When a single firm or a few firms dominate a market, they may restrict output and charge higher prices, leading to allocative inefficiency. Income inequality. While a Pareto efficient outcome is efficient, it doesn't necessarily mean it's equitable or fair. Resources could be efficiently allocated to benefit only a small portion of the population. Government intervention. While sometimes necessary to correct market failures, poorly designed government interventions can also lead to inefficiencies. In conclusion, economic efficiency is about making the best use of scarce resources to maximize societal well-being. In a market economy, the price mechanism, competition, and incentives for innovation are powerful forces that guide the allocation of resources towards both productive and allocative efficiency. However, market failures and concerns about equity often necessitate some degree of government intervention to improve overall economic outcomes.